Well, hello there, my fellow Doombots, to another episode of Doomview, where I, Doombot, talk about stuff that I've watched. And right now, we are going to be talking about Daredevil Born Again, Episode 4, Sic Semper Systema. I think it means always the corrupt are in charge, but I'm not sure. I would love for somebody to enlighten me in the comments. But before I get into spoilers, I do have to say the last episode was really frustrating for me. What happened with White Tiger? But this episode really had some nice conclusions to that storyline for me, at least. I really liked the themes. I thought this episode was emotional, it was funny, and it was high quality television. It really reminded me of the writing of the first half of Penguin, so I really enjoyed this episode, and I think the show is going in the right direction. But now, without any further ado, I want to talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen this episode yet and you do not want to be spoiled, then you have to skip this video, but not before you leave a like, comment, and subscribe because that helps the channel grow. And the more this channel grows, the more Doombots there are on YouTube. We will turn YouTube into DoomTube together. So please do that right now. And now we're going to get into the video. As you might have noticed, I am wearing my green suit right now. And I'm wearing it because of the death of White Tiger, which ended in the last episode. And that was a heartbreaking ending. Matt Murdock got him free by revealing his secret identity, and by doing that, he also caused a lot of damage. One of the damages that he caused is for her uncle, yeah, to die. Hector Ayala died, and his niece Angela Del Toro, is really upset by that. She's hurt by that. I thought that the performance given by the actress who plays her was really great in this particular episode, and I really felt for her because she really did lose her uncle due to the violence. And I know that in the comics, this character is the original White Tiger, so this was in a way a setup for that character. And yeah, I don't really know the character from the comics, but I did really enjoy how she was portrayed in this specific episode. And I think that the actress and the character have a lot of potential moving forward. Even though I still think it was a bad call for Matt Murdock to reveal the secret identity of White Tiger to the public. He just had to do what he had to do, I guess, and he was put in between a rock and a hard place. And at the end, he made the call. But I take back that he is a horrible person. It was more that I really felt a gut punch at the end of that episode, and I just had to get my frustration out of there. But still, this episode, how they continued the storyline, paid respects to this character, and hopefully in the future we get to see more of White Tiger in the form of Angela Del Toro. Speaking of grieving, I want to talk right now about the scene where Matt Murdock visits Punisher. He visits Punisher because he finds a shell casing of the bullet where Hector Ayala died with a Punisher logo on it. And what Punisher says is, oh, they are just a bunch of Punisher fanboys. I don't have anything to do with it. Which, of course, I think everybody knew that it was not the Punisher who killed the White Tiger. But this scene turns into a very emotional breakdown where Matt Murdock finally admits that losing Foggy broke him. And that is also what Punisher tells him. Every single day, I hear my dead son tell me that I should get these bad guys. So it looks like right now, Punisher is out of the game. He is not anymore punishing the people or the criminals, of course, of New York. and he's taken a back step. I don't know why exactly. Don't know what happened. I think that the ending of season 2 was him just shooting a bunch of bad guys, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, um, the end of this scene, Punisher makes Matt Murdock admit that the reason that he stopped was Foggy Nelson, and it was the guilt that he felt because of that. And because of this scene, at the end of this episode, I think Matt Murdock chooses to put back on the mantle of Daredevil. Oh yeah, real quick, I also want to mention the little interaction between Daredevil and the corrupt cop. I thought that that was a really intense and good moment. I thought that Matt Murdock's little detective work in this episode was really great. And yeah, overall, I think that the characterization of Matt in this episode was great. But now let's get into the other main character, and that of course, sorry, that of course has to be Wilson Fisk. And Wilson Fisk gets a lot of funny stuff and dramatic stuff to do in this episode. The funniest things is just he has a bunch of nothing meetings. He goes to like a school and a bunch of little kids are like singing. This city was built on rock and roll. And then he goes to like a Latvian heritage convention, and then they're all singing it in the language of Latvian. First of all, they were saying Latvian, but it's Latvian. It's something else. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments down below, because I was like, I don't know, man. But yeah, basically Vanessa in this therapy session admits to cheating on Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, with a man called Adam. And one of the reasons that she did it was because Adam had really nice hands, because he's not in the business of being a criminal. So it was somebody completely out of the world. First, I thought it was one of those mob boss type of dudes, but it was actually like a dude who had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with the underworld of New York City. And Kingpin says that he just talked to him and that he went away. But no, man. What he actually did is he locked this random dude named Adam up in a freaking steel cage in some basement somewhere. Imagine you're Adam. You just have a nice relationship with seems to be a sophisticated businesswoman called Vanessa. You don't really know anything about Wilson Fisk or the Kingpin. You have a good time going out for fancy dinners, having some grown-up adult hotel meetups, and out of nowhere, this big bald baby shows up to put you in a cave, beat the fuck out of you, starve you to death, while sitting in front of you smirking while eating a gigantic pasta with 3 big sausages on top. Oh, that moment was so cold when Adam was like, please, please, Wilson Fisk, let me out of here. And the Kingpin literally, oh, that was so messed up. He literally corrects Adam by saying, it's Major Fisk. It's Mayor Fisk now, Adam. Oh, man, this dude has not changed. He is playing a weird game. But you also saw he is not a changed man. He is still the same piece of shit. He has always been a big, whiny, emotional baby who was just out there for personal gain. He doesn't care about the people of New York. It's just for his little vendettas. But I actually am kind of liking how petty Kingpin is. Because in the comics, he is petty. I don't know how petty he is when it comes to his wife, because I don't really know the Vanessa character from the comics. I mostly know Kingpin just to be a big, brooding mobster dude. But yeah, it is kind of really funny how petty he is, and it's really messed up. Imagine you're Adam. Speaking of Wilson Fisk, I also really like the interactions that Mayor Fisk has with this kid. What is this kid's name? I have it right here. I have some notes right here. With Daniel Blake. Because Daniel Blake like spills the beans that he's kind of a union buster or something, which leads to a bunch of really bad press. surrounding him. But I really like the fatherly role, the mentoring role Wilson has over this Daniel kid. And Daniel is so cartoonishly loyal in this show. It's almost like he is a dog. He's like, oh, I will do anything. It's all my fault. Like he admits that he messed up, and first it looks like Kingpin's gonna beat the shit out of him, but eventually he's like, I forgive you. So in a way, he does forgive people, except if you're Adam and you mess with his wife. But I do really like this. But we just watched the Kingpin, so I really got the feeling that Wilson is going to throw this dude under the bus. Also, I don't really understand why he has this lady who is in between him, with him the whole time. She also said, I have been here for mayors and mayors. I've been here before you. I'll be here after you. So basically, like, she's running everything he's doing, a bunch of like bullshit red tape, making him go to stupid meetings and go to a high school where he can listen to children sing. We built the city on rock and roll instead of getting stuff done. Like, I don't know. It's more that she is there to keep the establishment as it is instead of, doing what the mayor wants to do, which kind of is how the political side probably works. You just are there to keep the status quo and not mess up things too badly. But I think eventually the Kingpin is going to get tired of that woman in between them. And yeah, he will do some stuff, maybe exposing himself too much, but yeah, he's playing a long game. I'm really interested in season 2, how this is going to develop. We still got some time. Will he be the mayor at the end of the season? We will see. Also, I had to mention the character of Leroy Bradford. Like, his story is really messed up. It's about a guy who's trapped in a system which keeps putting him down. He was talking about, I got like locked up in prison, but because I got locked up in prison, I missed an appointment for my like government benefits, like the money he was getting, which put him more down the hole. So he had to like steal food because he was hungry. So yeah, it's just an individual who is in a system which is putting him down. And I thought that was also, yeah, also heartbreaking when he was talking about his caramel corn. Like, damn it, dude. He just wanted to eat some nice food, and immediately he got taken in for it, going back to jail. So when Matt said, yeah, say thank you because I got you a shorter sentence, this dude is just at the end of his rope, and he just doesn't know how to get out of this bad system. And I felt really bad for this dude because some people are just stuck in this system which keeps on putting you down. Like, damn it, I hope I hope this character gets out of it. I don't know if he will return in the season, but I was feeling for him, man. I really was. Like, his explanation, like, first he was like defensive about it, but at the end when he like shares his truth, it really got to me. It really got to me. But then, final thing got to talk about, of course, we get Muse. And Muse is like carrying some random dude into like an underground tunnel, and you get a close up of his face, and he looks ugh. I think he has like blood on his face. And speaking of blood, he puts his unconscious man on a table. He straps him up, and when the guy wakes up, he sees that Muse is literally draining the blood from his body to use as paint. That's nasty. This villain is nasty, psychotic. I already think that we saw him one time before at like the book signing of the psychiatrist girlfriend of Matt Murdock. So 100% I think there's going to be a payoff to that scene. But damn, I'm really interested to see what kind of fucked up plans this Muse character has in store for us. Really, man, gross. Painting with other people's blood is not really something I can get behind. I have not really read any Muse comics. I haven't really read any Daredevil comics in general, but I do really enjoy this show. In particular, this episode, I thought that the first episode and the second episode were both good. The third episode was really, it just was a gut punch. But I think if I look back on it, it is a good episode of making me feel something. And this fourth one just felt like high quality television. This feels like something HBO would produce. But yeah, I am really enjoying the show. I just love talking about it. And if you guys love to talk about it too, put some comments down there. And let me know what you thought of this show, thought of this particular episode. Do you think Punisher is gonna make a return? What do you think Muse's plan is? Is he going to try to kill Wilson Fisk? Or maybe even worse, is he going to free Adam? Ooh, let's find out next week on Doomview. I think this is everything I gotta say. Doombot out and have yourself a happy Doomsday. Ciao, guys.